Hello, Sunshine. Alexi Lalas here. We had planned to record a State of the Union today at Fox at our digital studios, but with the recent devastating fires here in Los Angeles, we have sent everybody home out of a abundance of safety and obviously respect relative to everything that is going on here. I'm sure you understand. However, we do have a show. We have a best of when it comes to my recent trip to St. Louis to visit, once again, the Missouri Athletic Club as they award the MAC Hermann Trophy. A bunch of interviews with a bunch of different people, young and old, relative to soccer. Some of it's college, some of it's MLS, some of it's national, some of it's international. I know you're going to enjoy it. We are thinking about everybody here that has been affected by these fires. We will be back again next week, back in the studios, hopefully, and get you out a show there. But until then, and as always, size the day.
Greetings. Hello, Sunshine. I'm Alexi Lalas, and welcome to the State of the Union podcast, where we look at the beautiful game on and off the field through the lens of red, white, and blue-colored glasses. This show, we are coming to you from the Missouri Athletic Club in downtown St. Louis, Missouri, the host of the annual MAC Hermann Trophy Award, which is awarded for the best men's and women's NCAA soccer player of the year. This show, we will be talking to a bunch of different people, including players and coaches and soccer personalities out there that are surrounding this event and beyond this event. So, without further ado, let's light this candle. Oh, I'm so excited. Talk about legends. The man needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. The great Anson Dorrance joins us here on the State of the Union. All right, let me see. Let me make sure I get this right. 21-time NCAA titles with North Carolina, 7-time National Team Coach of the Year for, by the way, both the men's and the women's when you combine them. Coached, 20-plus national players of the year, including Carla Overbeck, who we just spoke to, Christine Lilly, Mia Hamm, Lucy Bronze, Heather O'Reilly, Tobin Heath, Cindy Cohn, goes on and on. April Heinrichs, it just goes on and on. Oh, and by the way, 1991 World Cup with the women's team and member of the National Soccer Hall of Fame. Anson Dorrance, thank you so much for joining me here. Let's take it to the international game a little bit.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Emma is hit the ground running when it comes to the U.S. women's national team, living up to whether it's your past or Tony's past or, an incredible history of success, both in terms of the wins and losses, but also in terms of the impact that the teams have had and the individual players that have been produced. Do you feel that it's heading in the right direction? Obviously a gold over the summer, but the World Cup is the be all and end all when it comes to this team. Do you feel it's heading in the right direction, especially with the turnover and the new faces that we are seeing on the U.S. women's national team?
Yes, I do. And I'm not going to pretend anything more than this. I think what's happening now is the foundation for her success is going to be the NWSL. And looking at the surge in this league has been phenomenal for the United States because, and you know this, usually you go into a foreign league and you've got one or two or three teams at the top that basically have extraordinary resources and they end up dominating the entire league. And so the average game in most of these foreign leagues, I'm talking about the English top league, the Super League there, you go to almost any country in Europe with the possible exception of Sweden. And it's a blowout for most of the games just because the talent is so overwhelming with the richer team.
There's no parity, yeah.
That's correct. There's no parity. The thing I love about what's happening in the NWSL, and obviously the draft system was a part of mitigating this, but now just the resources that are being poured into our league, this is becoming an incredibly competitive league. So I give, Jessica Berman and everyone that leaned into helping the NWSL, the extraordinary people behind the money behind it and the coaches that are in it. Our league now is a very competitive league. You can't go in against the worst team in the league and sort of have a walkthrough like you do in Spain or in Portugal or in Italy or in Germany or in England. No, you've got a fight on your hands. And so I give the league full credit because they're evolving. And then Emma Hayes is big time. She's big time. Yep. She knows the game. She relates to players personally and has been an incredible hire. by my former Tar Heel President Cindy Parlow-Cohn. And so she's got the team going in the right direction. But the foundation was there too. I am never going to be one of those people that jumped and threw, Vladko under the bus. I loved Vladko. And the thing I loved about him is he was looking at the league to pick his players for his team. So all of a sudden he gave credibility for the league, because for a while there, you didn't really have to do anything in the league and you could still make the U.S. national team roster. I think what Vladko brought in was that. You want to make my roster, you want to have an opportunity to play on this team, you got to make sure you're an excellent club player. So he raised the level of the importance of the league. The people that leaned into the league, including the financing behind it, also was critical. And right now we are going in a wonderful direction.
Ooh, Carla Overbeck is here. I'm so excited. All the legends are here. This is incredible. For those that don't know, and you should know. How many years have you been over there at Duke coaching?
32 years.
32 years.
Yep.
My God, 32 years as a coach, but as a player, a true legend. 2 World Cups, a gold medal, Soccer Hall of Fame, national championships. Is it true you didn't lose a single college game in your career?
That's what they say.
Oh, my God, it's incredible. When it comes to, let's talk about the international game. It's something that you know well of, and you were incredibly successful, and I'm sure you're watching it, and what's happening with our women's team and with Emma and the wonderful summit that they had and what seems to be heading in the right direction right now. When you look at the national team, I'm sure at times it makes you incredibly proud, notwithstanding, the failure that was the World Cup, but you have ups and downs going on. How different do you think, again, the culture is relative to the U.S. women's national team as to, I guess, back in the day?
I mean, I got like a little taste of it when we went into New Jersey for their, the day before their send-off game. And the 99ers came in and had lunch with them. And I feel like Emma really has an understanding of what we cultivated, way back in the day. And that made me excited because, there's so many young, talented players out there. And if they can get that piece right about just caring about each other and playing for each other and playing for the badge, they're going to kill it. And so I think she's great. She gets down on their level. She, was going to the spa and getting her nails painted with them and talking about that. And so I think she's done incredibly well. And, it's so hard to win at that level. And everyone thinks just because, they've won in the past, they've been so great in the past, that they're going to continue just to beat everybody. And that's not the case.
What's the secret sauce? I know I'm sure you've been asked this, as all the 99ers have been asked, what was it? How did it happen? What was it, just the soccer gods smiling upon you? And I'm not naive. I know that it was a whole lot more than that. When you get asked that question, what are some of the things that you point to as to why you were successful?
Yeah, I think because we didn't take ourselves too seriously. I mean, Mia Hamm is one of the most humble person out there, and she was the face of women's soccer and U.S. soccer for a long, long time. She didn't demand things. We cared about each other. We liked each other. We actually got along. And that's, I think, what made us so tight and together on the field.
All right. Lutz Pfannenstiel, welcome, my friend. Welcome back. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to talk to you. You, not just because you're the GM for St. Louis City SC, but you were kind enough a few years ago to give me and others a tour around what was then the brand new stadium. Obviously, a lot has happened over the last couple of years. We're here in St. Louis for the MAC Hermann Trophy Award. What does it look like? Because you said you followed him. Now, you ran me through a little bit of your team over there, off-field team, obviously, but who is looking at it? Do you have a staff that's dedicated specifically to college, or is just in general in terms of scouting?
No, when we do have the college season is running, then we do have 3 guys who really work a lot. They in general recruitment officially, but they work a lot when it comes to the college leagues. So they're traveling all around the country, watch players live. So we do have our short lists, we have our long lists, and then we're slowly cutting it down. But then, as you know, Alexi, it's always a gamble when you're coming into a draft. You don't know if you really get the guy you want. We were really lucky so far with our 3 drafts. We always got the guys we wanted. But also because our scouting system is a bit different. We drafted another player, Zielinski, which was not really that much up for grab for any other teams. He was one of our prime targets from day one because he fits very well with our philosophy. So we're looking a lot into the fits. We're looking a lot into the playing style. And of course, in my case, I like look into personalities. I don't. We spoke about that a lot.
Yep.
For me, the character of a player is just as much worth as being a good player on the field. So off the field makes for me a big impact because it needs to fit in the group. And Emil, he ticked all the boxes. So I think coming to the second part of the question, the college draft in general, I know that some clubs see it very critical by now, and it's not anymore as good as it used to be. I would hold against that because looking at teams like Colorado, they're drafting like crazy, so they believe in it. And so far, we also believe in it because looking at a player like McSorley, who debuted last year, looking at a player especially like Kajima, which really went through out of Wake Forest and became a good MLS player. Unfortunately, we lost him now in the expansion draft to via San Diego to DC, but it shows that there is a lot of talent out there. You just have to pick the right kids.
But why do you believe in it and others don't? I mean, you mentioned, I don't know, Philadelphia or others that, trade away all of their draft picks. And obviously, is it because they believe in so much in their youth system and you don't believe as much in your youth system, or it's just not to that level yet? And what do you see in collegiate soccer players? Because it's a very shortened season, all the different challenges that we talk about. Why do you see that there is value there?
So for me personally, I need to still go with the mix because our academy is only 4 years old. We have done amazingly so far. Twice being in national finals, having lots of players to get homegrown contracts to debut in the first team. But we simply do not have that lots of players who are going through 6-7 years of academy football. So we are still in very early stages. So the draft system, the university, the college football is for us extremely important. So if you're in a situation like Philly, which has without any doubt the best academy system in the country, then you have to ask the question, why should they actually draft if they're closing down the doors for their own kids? We are not there yet. In an ideal world, in another 5, 6, 7 years, maybe there will be more teams in a position that they only go for the homegrown kids. We are not there yet. So we want to give American boys, for me, I do look mostly at American domestic players in the draft. But then a guy like Jääskeläinen comes on the market and hey, it doesn't matter to me if he's international or not. He scores goals. So there is lots of talents out there. We're going for the mixed version. How do we actually build our second team? Because I think MLS Next Pro is the perfect step to be from a college player to become a pro player. And MLS Next Pro is for me a really growing and good league. So getting 2-3 guys into the MLS Next Pro, getting plenty of games, having a few guys from the draft last year, plus lots of our local talent from the academy. That's, I think, how we want to operate in the years to come.
Okay, Kate Faasse, you're in the hot seat, young lady. All right. First off, congratulations. You are one of the finalists for the MAC Hermann Trophy Award. We are here in St. Louis, so congratulations
Thank
for
you so
that.
much.
It'll change your life, let me tell you. As someone who won it a long time ago, before you were ever around. It's going to change your life. All right, let me go through everything here. Okay, let's see. National champion. All right, thank you very much. Check. First Tar Heel to be the MAC Hermann Trophy finalist since 2020. 20th UNC player to be a MAC Hermann finalist. Let's see. 4 goals, 3 assists in the NCAA tournament, which ultimately resulted in the 23rd national championship. Is that 23? Good.
Yeah, 23.
God, insane. Game-winning goals in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. 20 goals, led the country, and NCAA leading 8 game-winning goals. You are the you-know-what. Well done. Congratulations on everything that you have done. I ask this of everyone. You've been around long enough where you have an idea of what American soccer is. Give me the best and the worst thing about American soccer. It could be big, small. It could be on the field, off the field, anything.
I think off the field, we could get better at mental health. Just always remembering it's person before player. I think that's always a big thing. I know I've had some friends go in to the pro level, and it's hard to find yourself as a person, and it's always just how you're performing, and that's not all what soccer is. You have to make sure the person's okay to play, I think. But
you do know as a professional, your job is to play.
Obviously, right. But I also, if you're the top performer and you're not okay mentally or just off the field, it's hard to perform even when you're the best, Well, if you're the best, then you're performing on the field. But if you have a bad game,
right,
and it's affected by off the field situations. Okay. Sometimes it's, you need help.
Sure.
But I think.
And the best thing?
What?
What about the best thing?
I think that women's soccer, we're making history now. I think we're on the upcoming. And I think we're just in the middle of making history right now.
Awesome. Okay, welcome, Michael Adedokun, to the State of the Union. My friend, congratulations on being a finalist for the MAC Hermann Trophy this year from the Ohio State, and by way of, Dayton, University of Dayton. So this is not just about Ohio State. This is not just about Dayton. This is about Ohio. When you made a decision to come to the United States, obviously that's a non-traditional type of pathway to professional, because you have aspirations. You want to be a professional, right?
Right.
Did you look at it as just a different pathway? And an alternative type of pathway? When you talk to people and they said, yeah, this might be a really interesting and unique way to go.
So funny thing about me is like growing up, my parents never wanted me to play soccer.
Hey, me too.
I have to sneak out every time to go and play, So one thing that make me come to the US is like, hey, when I told my parents like, oh, you know what, I'm going to America to study and play soccer.
Get an education.
They were like, oh, that's what we want. Because my parents, they want me to be like a doctor or a journalist. That's what they want. But for me, soccer is something like really make me happy. And then I have the chance like, oh, okay, you know what? I can combine both education and then without jeopardizing my career. So let me just go for it. My parents are happy about it. I'm also happy to be able to play soccer. So, which is like a great decision.
Okay, joining me here on the State of the Union is Emil Jääskeläinen. So if you were doing that video now, that YouTube video, and you're the one that's promoting, you're the one that is selling, what are your selling points to someone, a kid over there, whether it's in England or Finland or any place else that is potentially having this as something that they want to do? What are you saying to them? Why you should do it?
Yeah, it's definitely a good option if you want to continue playing soccer, because there's opportunities after. Like you can see with me, like now I've got drafted and whatever, but not only that, you get the education. Like my little brother also came, so I convinced him to come to America. Yeah, he's at LIU as well.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, so
you got a pipeline there.
Yeah, bringing everyone. But yeah, definitely the opportunity, like the facilities, the training you get is pretty much like professional standard every day. The routines are great. Your days are always full. So much to do, and it's definitely an experience coming to America, and I've loved it. So
is there an element of the traditional pathway in Europe?
Yeah.
We hear about the ones that are successful, but the 99.9% that aren't successful. Is this almost a backdoor back into professional soccer that it can be used in terms of foreign players coming to university in the US?
Yeah, for sure. I think you're getting the training you need, and some people are late developers. Like me personally, I was tall, skinny, weak when I come here, and then obviously, you work hard and you get fitter, you get stronger. The American soccer system is definitely more physical. So that was one thing I had to adapt to for sure. And yeah, it's definitely a pathway, not the most routine or normal pathway, but I feel like it's better than playing semi-pro in England or in Finland. That would have been my other option. So yeah.
Plus you have an education when you're done.
Exactly. You have a degree worth $200,000 some dollars. So.
Okay, we welcome in Maggie Graham from Duke. Great College of Duke. I've heard of it. Pretty awesome. A graduate student, midfielder from Atlanta, Georgia. Wait, what are you a graduate student in? What do you study?
I'm getting my master's in public policy.
What does that mean? What kind of job would you want to do?
I want to work in the intelligence community.
Do you really?
Yes.
Like covert, like CIA kind of stuff? Like, we couldn't tell me anyway. Maybe you're already working there.
Maybe.
My goodness. Well, until you do that, or maybe if you're going to do it, simultaneously, you are an incredible soccer player, which is why you are one of the final nominees when it comes to the MAC Hermann Trophy Award. We are here in St. Louis. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
You are of a generation that has, so many more resources and opportunities, and I love it. Back in the previous century, when I was running around, it was a very, very different scene. In fact, before you were even born. What got you into soccer as a young girl? What attracted you to it, either on or off the field, when it comes to playing the game?
Yeah, I would say my dad loved soccer. He got both me and my sister into it. And I think what kept me around was competitiveness with my sister. I think she was always such a great athlete and was always so good, even from a young age, that I was like, okay, I want to be like her, and then I want to be better than her. And I think that motivated me to push myself to continue to play soccer. And then it also brought me the joy of getting to play with her and against her and whatever. But I think we both loved it for the fact that we're both just really competitive people. I think soccer gave us a way to express that in like a way that we really enjoyed too.
Oh, welcome, Kaya Hanks. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, Wake Forest's own. How do we come to find you here? Let's go back, way back to, how do you pronounce it? Kailua Kona, Hawaii?
Kailua Kona.
Kailua Kona, Hawaii.
Yeah.
All right. So you're growing up Are you watching soccer? Are you into soccer? Are you obsessed with soccer as a young kid?
Well, we moved to Hawaii when I was 5 years old, and I didn't get into soccer until I was around 7. I'm the youngest in my family, and so I was one of those little sisters who just followed whatever
Tagged along.
their other older sibling did. So my older sister started playing first, and then I was like, oh, I'll try it too. So we started playing just for fun when I was around 7, and then I got into it competitively when I was around 11, 12 years old. And that was when I started really watching soccer, and that was when I was like, hey, maybe I could really do something with this. And started doing everything I could to train for it, and it was.
Did you have any players that you watched, or?
Loved Kristen Press. All my life, loved her. So, and Marta. Watched both of them growing up, and just loved watching them play.
Okay, Sam Bassett joining us here on the State of the Union. Congratulations, by the way, a finalist for the MAC Hermann Trophy here at Littleton, Colorado, a senior over there at Denver, midfielder. Let's see, College Cup All-Tournament team, second two-time All-American in the program's history, started all 23 matches for Denver, led the team to the program's second College Cup in the program's history, 31 points on 9 goals, 13 assists, 77 matches in your Denver University career, 74 points, 24 goals, 26 assists. Says all that means is that you're awesome. You're awesome on the soccer field. We'll find out if you're awesome off the soccer field here too. Congratulations. So I asked this of most of the young players that I meet. How did you get into the game? So go back, and was it something, did you see someone playing? Did you watch it on television? Did you run out the street and start kicking a ball? Or how did you find the game, or how did the game find you?
Yeah, good to be on here. But it definitely started, and you could probably guess, with my brother Cole. We grew up only 20 months apart, so It was pretty easy to follow him. I think we just started playing all kinds of sports, and then we eventually started watching a lot on TV, and we decided to choose between soccer and baseball, and it ended up being soccer, and we just have loved it ever since, and we want to keep going.
Well, out of respect for you as an individual, I did not bring up Cole Bassett, but you brought it up. So yeah, yes, he is your brother. So it runs in the family when it comes to soccer. 20 months separating you two. Was there a heightened sibling rivalry between you two when it comes to soccer and other things?
Yeah, definitely. We used to get.
Did he kick your ass? Is what I'm asking?
No, usually me.
Really?
Yeah.
You beat his ass. You can tell already, right?
I'd say I'm a little stronger than he is, but
yeah. Okay, well, that's the end of our show here from St. Louis. I hope you enjoyed the interviews. I thought they were interesting in terms of everything the things that the players talked about and the coaches talked about. And it's a celebration. It's a celebration of American soccer, in particular, what St. Louis is. I talked about it on an earlier show. It never gets old for me coming back to St. Louis and coming back to the Missouri Athletic Club for all of the history when it comes to this award. It seems like yesterday that yours truly was running around on the soccer field and then coming to St. Louis and accepting this award. Obviously, life has changed a lot over the years, but like I said, it's an incredible honor. And I have an incredible amount of love and respect for the people behind the scenes that put this on and continue to, in the labor of love that soccer is, push that proverbial ball up the hill. It's gotten a little bit easier, but it is still a labor of love. And nobody labors more than the Missouri Athletic Club. So we thank them for all of the help in terms of producing this show, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. And we'll talk to you again later on the State of the Union. And until then, and as always, my friends, size the day.